to me, enough is enough. They just wanna hurt us, bring us down, bring us down. Enough is enough. We won't let them hurt us, bring us down, bring us down. Enough is enough. You won't bring us down, bring us down. Enough is enough. They just wanna hurt us, bring us down, bring us down. Enough is enough. We won't let them hurt us, bring us down, bring us down. Enough is enough. Enough is enough, is enough, is enough. Enough is enough. They're always taking their sides, careless and nine, plus and minus, they're divine. I'm seeing color in black and white, so I won't be defined, living life through their eyes. This life is mine. There's something you owe me. Give it back to me. Enough is enough. They just wanna hurt us, bring us down, bring us down. Enough is enough. We won't let them hurt.
Hey guys, welcome back to Queen of the Indies Corner with another episode of Under the Ropes. I'm your host, as always, the Queen of the Indies, Tiffany. And today, I'm my good friend, Bobby Casale. How are you?
Good. How are you doing?
I'm good. I'm excited that you're on the podcast. Another newcomer from Creator Pro, pretty much. So, guys, if you guys have any questions for Bobby, please feel free, drop it into the chat. I'm sure he'll be more than happy to answer all of your questions. So, all right, so let's dive in. So, I find it very interesting that you have a MMA background. So I want to talk about like the transition from that to wrestling because it kind of reminds me obviously about Matt Mikowski, which we will get into also, but I want you to talk about that a little bit.
What, going from MMA to wrestling?
Yeah.
Well, for me, the big problem with MMA was I wasn't really able to be active as much.
Mhm.
So with wrestling, I've been able to have a lot of matches really often, or mainly through like Cap and like Wrestling Open and beyond. So that's been the biggest thing for me. I'd say I'd still hit people the same amount. I hit people pretty hard in both. It's what I'm getting known for. Big thing with wrestling is I could pick guys up and catch them out of the air. In fighting, I never really caught anyone out of the air.
Mhm.
No one really was jumping off the ropes or anything like that. So, yeah, big thing with wrestling. I was picking people up, throwing them down to the mat hard, catching them out of the air. It's been my thing. Um, yeah, it's pretty much it. Being more active is a big thing. Hitting people hard still. I don't know if you saw any of my matches so far. But people are getting crushed and driven through the mat. So
So clearly it wasn't a hard transition because
no,
we're
no,
seeing
no.
a lot of people like that come into wrestling from that.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Still a lot of takedowns, punches, kicks, things with grappling and both. So it's been pretty easy, kind of just learning the different styles and seeing where my stuff kind of fits in. I think all my stuff is better than everything anyone's doing in wrestling,
mhm.
which is why I've taken off so quickly.
Which is great. So it's like I feel like I've been there from like the start with with Cap TV and just watching your journey between like stuff on IWTV, whether it goes on YouTube and everything. So going to the Cap shows, which is really like cool to see. So we have some people in the chat. Kai's in chat said so excited for this one. Good cop, bad cop says, lucky I was just at X, didn't bother to check the time and assumed it was a different time and a different day. Well, thank you for joining on in. Sky says, what is his favorite match he's been in so far and his favorite match that he hasn't been in? Ooh.
Okay. I'd say my favorite match so far was probably the Mako match.
Mhm.
Think that was a lot of fun. I just rested Sammy Diaz last week too. I had a blast with that. I crushed him. We just won't don't talk about what happened at the end. So far, who I want to wrestle? Mm, it's hard to pick one person that I want to wrestle.
Mhm.
I mainly just want to wrestle anyone on the indies that will get me noticed by people that can pay me more. So if you're like a WWID guy, a TNA guy, MJF just wrestled Alec Price. I was there at Limitless
Mhm.
in the Rumble. If MJF wants it, he can get it too. Yeah, pretty much anyone that will get me noticed.
Sounds good. Sounds good. So our second part was like, what's one that like that's not your match, but that you've watched?
Oh, that I watched
Yeah.
recently.
Mm-hmm.
Um, hmm. That I watched or that's upcoming, are we talking?
No, like a match that like you've been at a show and like you've like watched like your friend's match or something like that.
Oh yeah. I would say honestly, one of my favorite matches that I've seen live
Mm-hmm.
was Bear Bronson versus Dijak at a Beyond sometime last year.
Yeah.
I don't think that really gets talked about that much, but that match was fucking crazy.
Yeah.
Um, Dijak's an animal, and so is Bear Bronson. They're lunatics. So that was a crazy match. If you haven't seen that, go find it's probably somewhere.
Yeah, it's definitely like really really good. Let's talk a little bit about like I always joke around with Matt Mako and we always tell him like the joke is like it doesn't matter like we'll always call you Matt Makowski because we've been
Sure.
supporting you since
Yeah,
you're
yeah,
Matt
yeah.
Makowski, so we still that's our running joke with him and everything like that. But this was such a showcase match and I think it's great for the style obviously and to
Yeah.
have this kind of match so early in your career I think is huge and screams volume. So I don't know if you want to go a little more into detail about that one.
I was told I'm a lifelong wrestling fan too,
Mhm.
but I never really followed the indies. Um, but I was told it's a big deal to get a singles match on Heavy Lies the Crown
Mhm.
like really quickly. Like I haven't even been training pro wrestling for a year, so I take that as like, oh, cool. Like maybe I'm doing something well. I credit that to the people at Creator Pro, really carrying me along well. Doing the Mako match, I really love the idea because he's someone that would understand my style more, so it'd be a lot more competitive. And I think we brought like the best out of each other and really showcased what both of us can do really well. Um, I really credit also the guys at Beyond for putting that together. I didn't really know who Matt Mako was beforehand. But then when they brought it to me and I found out who he was, I was like, oh, okay, nice. Like that would probably be a lot of fun. So that whole match meant a whole lot to me. I only, like I said, not even wrestling in a year and I got to be on a huge show like that. Cool to be in the back with so many cool people and things like that and really learn a lot just even through the whole event. Yeah, pretty much real competitive matchup. Matt really brought it and he has a little bit of a different like MMA style than me, so it
Mhm.
was cool that we like conflicted in that way even in the match too. And it was a really good time. It was a hard-hitting um great match, I thought, and people seemed to really like it.
Yeah, I feel like there's a lot also with your style that in your career going forward at wrestling that it's like, oh, we're looking forward to see.
Yeah, yeah.
So like A game, I know he's out on injury. He'll be back soon. That'll be a great match when he comes back with you because like I watched him in JT Dunn, which was
Sure.
very interesting because JT kind of fell into the style of A game. So, maybe that could, you know.
Yeah, yeah. So something I'm figuring out is a lot of these guys like I get like pretty interesting matches out of guys because
Mhm,
most of the time like guys are just pro wrestlers.
mhm.
So like you get like a pro wrestler versus a pro wrestler. But with me, I'm gonna start doing different stuff and making you work a little harder and kind of hitting you harder and we're gonna like hit the mat in different ways than you're used to and things like that. So it makes it interesting for the other guy too, you know. You're not just gonna have a normal wrestling match and trade some classic holds. It's gonna be a lot more entertaining than normal.
Yeah, it keeps wrestling fresh too, which I like about like
Yeah.
independent wrestling is like, you want to see different styles and even the collision of different wrestlers as well. Oh wow, we got a lot of stuff going on to the chat. Hold on. So I see one which was actually one of my questions. Kaya says, what does he love most about working with Jack Tomlinson?
Oh, Jack Tomlinson. Jack hired me just because, you know, he needed some muscle around there. Jack can handle himself, but he can need some muscle. I would say that guy's very entertaining. You know, he's pro wrestling's leading man. You know, he sings and acts and dances around and does his own stunts. But us together as a team, we're pretty unstoppable. And coming up February 1st, we'll be teaming at the Cap Bowl. So a big tag team gauntlet. You can tune into that and see some flawless teamwork between me and Jack. But no, he's very entertaining. He's fun to get in the ring with and team up on his side. And I think you'll see some big things coming from us at Cap.
Ooh, look at that. So, what else we got into the chat? Cody's in the chat. He was talking about the match about with you and Mako. He says that was such a good match. Uh, let's see what else. Wade says that's awesome. Great, you're living a dream. Keep being innovative. Makes a big difference. And then he said that new school and old school may not be as open to it. Oh well,
Well, they can
you.
go fuck themselves. It's fine. I'm gonna do my thing and make some money.
That's what you got. So, all right. So another one we got to talk about. So shout out to Fight Life. I love what Frankie's doing over there. Much
Oh yeah, they're
love.
awesome.
He just had a show. It aired last night. It was on
Yeah, yeah,
last
those guys are
week.
sick.
So check that out at Thriller as well. So me, I love Danny Miles. I will always
Oh, I
be.
knocked his ass out cold. Danny Miles knocked out cold. You should pull up the clip of me kicking him square in the head, out cold.
So good. So yeah, so this is another one that you were in pre-show. There was a scramble for a shot onto
There was a battle
yeah,
royal.
Battle Royal
Yes,
on the pre-show to get onto the main show, and then you had wrestled Danny Miles, which was great.
yes,
So Danny Miles is again, like I said, one of my favorites, and I get really excited when like newcomers come and wrestle him because he's like the perfect. And I know you and me had this conversation in the
yeah,
messages. He's just like the perfect person to work anywhere with like Fight Life, and you get to work with him also too on Wrestling Open.
yeah. Well, our relationship started with me knocking him out cold, and then you know, Steve Stetson, the great mind that he is, saw that we're together and we're a good weapon. So he brought me into the fold.
Mhm.
And me and Danny, I think we had two or three tag matches. We've been running pretty good. You know, I was able to, he's a little bit of a smaller guy, so I've been able to pick him up and throw him around at our opponents. I don't know if you've seen that.
Mhm.
I think it's a good strategy for us. He's a dense guy, so if you get hit with him, by him, me throwing him at you, it's probably going to hurt. So I'd stay tuned actually to Wrestling Open. I think we're going to be teaming again pretty soon.
Mhm.
But those are definitely can't miss matches. So yeah, me and Danny, I knocked him out cold at Fight Life. That was a great match too. Danny does a lot of like jiu-jitsu and stuff, so he kind of understood what I was doing. But I feel like that match was actually a good mix of like wrestling and real fighting,
Yeah.
um, which is what I do. So teaming with him too has been a blast. You know, he's a wealth of knowledge in pro wrestling. I feel like he's been around for centuries. Um, so yeah, he's really taught me a lot. Unfortunate, I had to knock him out cold to get there, but I like teaming with him probably more than going against him. He did German suplex me on my head, which was unfortunate, but that's why he got knocked out.
Better friend than foe, right? That they always
Yes, I would
say.
say so. Yeah,
So
it's a
definitely.
solid guy right there.
So with that also being said, again, you work a lot of these places, and it's like chaotic wrestling, another one. Shout out to them. Love everything that they. I've got to get back up
Shout
there.
out to Chase.
Yes. Chase Del Monte. I mean, so like talk about that. Like you're all over the place, which is great for someone who's
Yes.
in their first year. Like that's amazing. Like
I've just been hitting it hard, you know. There's no place you will not see me. Soon you'll see me outside the Northeast. Um, just really we're gonna make it and we're gonna do it faster than anyone's done it. Chaotic's awesome. I think they do production better than anyone really on the indies as far as like their stages and their camera
mhm.
work and their lights and stuff. They'll even go into like smaller venues and really dress up the venues and make it a real big show. So if you're ever in that area and there's a chaotic show, I would definitely go see it because they had some great wrestlers. And great production, great setup. I love being there. Chase is a super cool guy. Hoping to get back there soon. Probably knock someone else out from that school.
Can it be like Calvin Dumont, please? Please.
That would be great. I power bombed him straight through the mat a few times. I don't know if that's floating around out there.
I think I
Maybe
think
I'll
he
get in there with Wheatman. He's
ooh.
cool. He gave me an airplane spin at a Blitzkrieg show. I was very dizzy. That's but yeah, we shout out to Wheatman too, wherever he's at.
Yes, definitely. Back into the chat. Kay says, I'd love to see Bobby at a Focus Pro show or GCW show someday.
Oh yeah, hit up those guys. Who runs Focus Row? Brian Bayside.
Mm-hmm.
Someone hit him up. Brett Lauderdale. He knows where to find me.
Definitely. I think you're gonna be like spot on, like again, like I said, for someone who's in his first year and getting all these like opportunities. And then like I think another thing that we should talk about definitely is people that you run with, like, driving to shows and stuff like that. And like I know like Bronson and like Aaron Rourke and stuff. Like these are
Oh
great
yeah, those are
guys
my
to have in your
guys.
corner. Like so those car rides are great. I've been in some car rides with some wrestlers and stuff, but talk to the fans a little bit because I don't think they really like know so much of like detail about going in the car with
I
with
would say
wrestlers. Hmm.
my guys are Bear Bronson, Aaron Rourke, Bobby Orlando, and the Shooter Boys. Those are my guys. We all roll together. We all have the same ideology and work ethic. Um, Pretty much for me, when I started out, and still, there's really nothing I won't do to make it. So I was told early on, like, oh, going to shows even if you're unbooked is a big deal.
Hmm.
So they're booked all the time. I think Bobby Orlando once like set the record for like in a year having the most matches.
Hmm.
So basically every weekend, if I'm not doing anything, I just look at their schedule and just get in the car with them. And those guys are awesome. They teach me a lot in the car. They always answer any of my questions. I feel like I ask like a million questions, but they never get annoyed. And I feel like that's the reason why I've also gotten better quickly because some guys, show up and just train on the days that you're supposed to train, but I really spend as much time as I can just trying to learn or be involved or at a wrestling show. So I still just go with them every weekend, wherever they're at. And then that's how you meet people. It's also how I've been able to get on all these shows and stuff. Because a lot of times the promoters see like a big fuck like me show up and I have cauliflower ear and stuff. And they go, oh, hey, like, can that guy have matches? And they go, oh, yeah, like he's pretty good. And then I get on the show and then they help me out a lot like that. So it's really traveling with those guys has furthered my career probably more than they realize through them both teaching me stuff in the car. You're in the car for like 4 or 5 hours in a clip. You're going to get to know the person, you're going to learn a lot. And then also just being at the events that they're at and they vouch for me and I'm able to get on.
Yeah, definitely. So I saw like the picture the other day that Aaron posted when you having a drink.
Oh, yeah. He was making fun of the way I drink coffee. He said I was fisting the coffee cup. That's just how you drink coffee.
I love
I don't
Aaron Rourke.
understand that.
I love him so much. So shout out to him. Um, another big one, Limitless. Limitless is the dream promotion
Oh,
for
that's sick.
most wrestlers. And then again, this Friday, if you didn't watch it on YouTube, it's on YouTube. Go check that out as well. So you made your debut there in the Rumble, which is great. Like I feel like it's
Yeah,
like
sick.
Cap because you see a whole bunch of Cap people in the Rumble.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah,
but
best school. Best training place around.
it really is. Just to you even be like across working to big men like Ace Romero and Beef, it's just so impressive,
Yeah. That
for
was
like a
pretty cool.
debut.
That was pretty cool. Got a little, 2 minutes in there. Well, maybe a little less, but that was a cool experience. MJF went there and like sold out the place. I think there was like 2,000 people there.
Hmm.
So it'd be the biggest crowd that I've been in front of. So I was very, very thankful for even for the opportunity for them to put me in the Rumble. Even if it
Hmm.
didn't last that long, I tried to make the most of it
Hmm.
and do the best I could. I'd say the biggest thing I took away from that was being in the ring with guys like Ace Romero and like way more experienced guys like that, but
Hmm.
also just feeling the crowd, like feeling what 2,000 people that are excited and energized to be in the place feels like. And it was awesome. It was really sick. Randy that runs it is the man. Um, it was actually AG Anthony Green that got me on there. He got me slid in there last minute. He's actually the man. He's one of the best wrestlers out there. But yeah, it was sick. It was sick to feel what 2,000 energized fans feel like. They all seemed like they really wanted to be there. It was a crazy nice venue, really nice, well-run promotion, and I'm looking forward to being back there.
Ooh, love that. Again, like I said, that's like the dream promotion for like a bunch of wrestlers. Shout out to Randy. Randy's
Yeah,
doing great stuff. I gotta get back up there too. Like,
they're the best.
it's just
They're the best. I'll be back there.
ooh, definitely. So check that out. What I see in the chat. I remember meeting Bobby at America Rana and asked him when we're going to get him at Wrestling Open, and 2 months later,
Shit.
there he was. It was amazing. See,
Yeah, hell yeah.
all
Wrestling Open is the place to be week to week. If you're not watching Wrestling Open week to week, you're not a wrestling fan.
yeah. So again, IWTV, definitely check that out. Let me see. Let's do some of these fan tweets that we got in. So this one's from Good Cup, Bad Cup. I see you in the chat. He said, in a very similar question to Shimbashi last week, with Bobby
I'm
Casale.
not answering that. Just don't even waste your breath.
Really?
I saw that. I saw that. I don't understand what he's asking. It looks stupid. Let's move on to the next one.
Okay. The next one, this one's from Nick. He says, what was the most difficult move you either had to learn, and what was your breakthrough moment?
Breakthrough moment. Honestly, difficult move I had to learn. One day, Bronson and Aaron Rourke, I think it was mainly they were teaching everyone it, but I think they made me do it just for fun,
Hmm.
like for laughs.
Hmm.
They had me learn how to take a tilt-a-whirl backbreaker.
Hmm.
And like in the class, I'm the biggest guy. So who the fuck's gonna spin me? You know what I mean? So like and it took me forever to learn how to like move my body in that way because
Hmm.
also my body has been like I was fighting for like training like amateur wrestling and like jujitsu and stuff like that for like 20 something years. So my body doesn't really move in the way of a tilt-a-whirl backbreaker, but they made me keep doing it until I got one.
Hmm.
And I'd say that was extremely hard.
Hmm.
Um, my breakthrough moment, I would say having my first singles match on the Cap TV. That meant a lot to me, and I was only training for like 2 or 3 months at the point, so I was like, oh shit, I just did that. It went really smooth and felt good. So I was like, oh, I think I could really do this.
Look at that. Look at that. Definitely. Um, so it was another one that I feel like another match, because those are the fan tweets that we had got, was Grind Wrestling. Shout out to Rip
Yes,
Bison. Love that.
that's a sick place.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
you fit perfectly
Yeah,
in Grind. Like
that's a sick place.
that is definitely the place of the style. And like I feel like there's only so
Yeah,
many people that could fit in Grind for the style, but you were
yeah.
definitely
No,
one.
those guys are super cool. That's another place I showed up that day and they put me on. Fucking awesome. Thankful for that.
So it's also on YouTube. I saw that it had dropped. You and Miles Penn, definitely a
Yeah, he's
great
cool.
match to watch. So like I'm waiting for like you and Rip Bison to get into the ring, 'cause
Yeah,
that is just definitely one that needs to
I'm
happen.
down for that. I'm
So
down for that. Grind's sick.
yeah, like Perry Von Vicious too is another one. Like forget it.
Yeah.
Like again,
Just see if they can hang in the ring with me.
ooh, look at that. Look at that. Put
Mm.
it, put it out there. So, all right. So, do you have Any pre-match rituals?
I stretch a lot. Um, Yeah, really it. I stretch a lot. I don't like, honestly, I see a lot of people that don't do this. I feel like it would help them.
Hmm.
I don't like the first, I call it like the first sweat,
Hmm.
like the first time my lungs get moving to be in the match.
Hmm.
I feel like my first sweat, I'm always like a little out of shape.
Hmm.
So, in the back, I usually try to get my heart rate pumped up a little after I stretch. Yeah, that's really it. I don't really have any other rituals. I just try to focus on what I got to go and do and then go and do it.
Okay, perfect. So, guys, so this is going to be a shorter interview, so I'm going to break down to my last two questions, and then we'll talk about what you have coming up and all that stuff like that.
Sure.
So, since we're in the beginning of 2026, and again, like we said, like you're in like your first year of wrestling and everything like that, what's some things that you'd like to accomplish this year?
I'd say 2026, I want to have over 150 matches. I think I've had close to 10 already in this month.
Hmm.
I want to wrestle a lot outside the Northeast. I mean, since we live in New York, it's really easy to go to Northeast and they run a lot of events there. But to get more exposure for myself and to get someone to pay me more money, I will travel outside the Northeast. Other than that, I'd like to wrestle some bigger names. Maybe some guys that are like WBID or like ex-signed talent or signed talent that can go and do indies. That's really my big goals for this year.
We got a lot of great things coming up too, like between the fact, like, like you said, WWE guys are going. We're seeing like a lot of stuff with like TNA, like indies are
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
crazy. Like right now, you
Yeah, a
don't
lot
even
of
know.
AEW guys going doing indies, TNA guys.
Yeah, which is
Be cool to
awesome.
mix it up with some of them.
Well, it's the only the beginning of the year and so much stuff to see in your future. So, with that being said, my final question to you is wrestling with positivity is very important to me on this podcast because in the world of wrestling, there's so much negativity. I like to focus on the positive. So, is there anything that you could think of, maybe like you've done for a fan, maybe a fan's done for you, maybe a wrestler's done for you, or something that the opposite, anything that we wouldn't know unless you share this story?
Honestly, I just really wanted to come on here and shout out my coaches.
Hmm.
I shout out Max Caster. He's a wrestling genius. I know a lot of people don't really see that side of him.
Hmm.
But that dude can break down basically anything in extreme detail and it makes sense. And he
Hmm.
gives feedback that makes sense. And he won't say anything unless he can thoroughly explain it. You get a lot of guys that you do something and they'll be like, that's just not good. And you go, why is that not good? And they just go, well, it's just not good. And then they just basically like push you to the side. But
Hmm.
like Max will give you feedback and then explain, hey, I think it should be this, this, and this. And then it clicks in for me, it clicks in my head, and I go, oh crap. And I feel like I've made big advances through being trained under Max.
Hmm.
Same thing with Bear Bronson and Aaron Rourke. Those three guys have been my main trainers, and they are responsible for getting me where I'm at. There were I feel like I was a special case because I showed up and there were many days where they spent a lot of extra time with me when they did not have to, and basically just showed me everything I need to know to just start having matches. And I've seen now that like that doesn't really happen too much, so I appreciate it. There's times when those guys are staying there till 1, 2, 3 in the morning training me when we started at like 7.
Hmm.
So it's like I really appreciate that. I wouldn't be where I am without those guys putting in the extra time to me. So that's what I'm thankful for.
Love that. Love to hear that. So shout out to Cap, doing great things. You can join there with the school. They have classes like, what is it, Tuesday, Thursdays, I
Tuesday,
think.
Wednesday,
Thursday.
Thursday,
Yeah.
7 o'clock.
So definitely check that out. You can look up that information at Creative Pro as well. So yeah. So tell the fans, what you got coming up so they can come support you.
I would say always check out Wrestling Open Monday and Thursdays. I'm pretty active on there. There's a cap show coming up February 1st. So if you're in the area, it's in Lynbrook, Long Island, New York. I would definitely come check that out. Other than that, I'm kind of nothing that I can announce yet that I have coming up. There's like some stuff in the works, but definitely keep your eyes peeled to any of my social media. It's just my name at Bobby Casale on Instagram and Twitter. You can buy my t-shirt that I wear around everywhere, and some people wear around everywhere. We need to make that more people wearing around on my pro wrestling tees.
Maybe you need to beat them up.
Oh, I will. I will. I lost a T-shirt at Limitless. The fan stole it, so
Oh,
someone got one for free.
oh wow.
So
Not
someone should buy one to make that back.
not cool. So all those links are in the description below. So is there anything else you want to tell the fans that we didn't talk about today?
No, I mean I'm pretty good. Unless there's another dying question out there, I think I'm pretty good.
Let me see. Kaya says, would Bobby like to face more bigger guys like Dijak, Bronson, Vinny
Oh, of
Tatala,
course.
etc.? And
Yes, Dijak. I would love to wrestle Dijak. That guy is crazy, but the matches are so good. Bear Bronson, we were in the ring a little bit, but a singles match with Bear would be awesome. That'd be sick.
I feel like that's just like a given that it's just gonna happen at a cap show.
Yeah,
Like it's just
yeah.
right time, right place, pretty
I'll pick
much.
his ass up. You guys will see it. Feat of strength right there.
Love that. Good Cop Bad Cop says, how do barefoot fighters show that they are retiring as they can't leave their boots in the ring? With Bobby's MMA background, does he know? Do they do something different?
Kind of barefoot, like wrestlers or fighters.
Fighters.
They leave their gloves.
Oh, look at
Yes,
that.
they take off their gloves. It's always kind of awkward though, because the gloves are duct taped onto you. So you see the guy usually when they're retiring, like picking at the tape, and it's like, oh, he's gonna retire, and then they leave their gloves in the middle.
What an interesting fact.
Yes,
So good question, good cop, bad cop, because he loves doing he does sports and all that stuff too. So guys, go give him a
yes.
follow for his podcast too. Um so thank you for coming on here. I know like, you'll be back here because I know you're gonna have an explosive year. So looking
Thank you.
forward to
Thank you for
that.
having me.
Yeah, absolutely. So guys, you know the drill. Stay safe,